Hey Hero fans, this is Todd, and today we're going to talk about Rio Blast. Rio Blast. And I know people are like, Rio Blast? I've been talking about Brave Star for the past, I don't know how long, but yes, Rio Blast and Brave Star are very closely related, so we're actually going to talk about Rio Blast in the new Brave Star playset. Now you guys know that I've been working on it for a while, and so let's turn the camera around, I'll show you all the cool functions, and then I will talk some more. So let's turn this camera around. First of all, there's the flag. The flag. And let's head on down. Head on down. Head on down. Oops. To the fort. So here is the fort. And it's so cool. I got the computer terminals going. I got Rio Blast in there. I have oh, what is her name? I forgot. This is horrible. It's one of my own characters. I forget her name. What is your name? Hold on, I'll think of it in a minute. Scarlet. That's right, her name's Scarlet. Scarlet Gunsmoke. I could not remember her name for the just back then. She's a pretty cool custom. As you can see, I made her from Tila, gave her some cool shorts, and then gave her the head of Black Widow, and that's why I call her Scarlet after Scarlett Johansson. So there she is, and a way cool way to use that Tila. And the hat is, of course, 3D printed, and I made it so it actually matches up with her hair on the inside. So it just goes on there nicely. And then a little bit of hand painting job on there, and bada bing, bada boom, we got Scarlet. Now, in my storyline, Adora's helping them set up the new Texas that her mom has appointed her to do. And the new Texas is basically a spot because it ran out of food in Eternia, so they're trying to figure out their own way to get some food. So they brought Rio Blast from Earth, and here is Rio Blast before his cybernetics. Ooh-ah. And it's kind of funny. I know I haven't done the whole storyline yet, but I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of the synopsis. So this is one of my custom figures as well, and it's Rio Blast before he has all his cool cybernetics. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move these girders. I made these girders. You'll see in the video once I make episode 2 why I have them, but I'll pull them out for now. They're kind of cool. They're made of a flexible material that I printed them in. And they remind me of the $6 Million Man girders or the Micronaut girders we used to have. So, always fun. Anyway, so then of course we got Rio Blast. Fully loaded Rio Blast with all his weapons and gear and everything else after he has cybernetics. And then we have Sheriff Rio Blast, where his cybernetics are technically underneath and hidden. And I gave him a Brave Star hat, which is kind of cool. So there he is, working the computer, checking the radar. Doop, doop, doop. And then we have his friend here, Apache Chief. And he also has an alternate. Oh, when he says his words, choke, and he becomes Giant Apache Chief, which this was a Build-A-Figure from the DC Universe line. And it's so cool. So you can see the custom and the Build-A-Figure side by side. So cool. Anyway, I will put his Build-A-Figure aside. And then over here in the jail cell, we have Overkill. Now, Overkill is the bad guy from my Rio Blast that I made. And many of you guys have already seen him. Now, I did have to disarm him to put him in jail. So he is unarmed right now. But underneath here, he has his blaster. Blam, 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 blam. It pops out of his chest. So he has the same situation or setup as Rio Blast with his blaster gun. And then, let me open up my plethora of extras here. His right hand can be swapped out. Oops. Oh, I didn't. One time I lost this dumb cowboy hat. I had to go on eBay and find another one. And these little cowboy hats are not cheap because it's actually from the bad guy. I think his name is Tex Hex from Brave Star. I figured I might as well just stick with the Brave Star stuff because those hats work really good for classics figures. There we go. And now he has a big old gun on his hand. And then he has another gun that goes in his holster. There it is. That he can hold in this hand. So that's why I call him Overkill, because he has like a plethora of guns for as arsenal. So pretty cool. Now he is made from two different Hordaks. He's made from the Hordak that shoots out the saw in the middle of his chest, and some other Hordak parts as well. And let me restart this video on this thing over here. And the head is actually from, oh, what is his name? It's a DC character, Lobo. It's Lobo's head. And then the other parts are from Horde Prime. So his arms from here down are Horde Prime, and so are his boots. So those are the parts to make him. And then his gun holster is actually from Hero, son of He-Man. And that's where I got that from as well. All right, anyway, back in the jail cell when you're all loaded with your guns. Not a good guy, not a good thing to have someone in the jail cell with guns in their hands. All right, let's go to the other side. On the other side over here, I actually have a smaller Brave Star. Now his name is called the Marshal, and he's from Ramen Toys, and here he is. And he's pretty cool. And what I like about him is he has lots of articulation. I wish he was a little bit taller because he is kind of short next to the classics. But, you know, some people are shorter in real life. So I go with that. What the heck? He could be a shorter person. And it's cool, too, because he has the same stylistic hat as my Rio Blast has now, but not the same hat. And so that is really cool, too. Now, next to him, we have Jennifer. Now, Jennifer, if you look at her, of course, she looks like that one figure from X-Men, and she is, but she is actually a character in my cartoon or my stop motion I'm putting together. And Jennifer is actually a scientist from Earth, and she's helping with all of the plant scientist stuff. She's a what do you call it? A botanic scientist. And so what happens to her at some point, she's going to be transformed into a plant creature. A plant creature, yes. And that is where She-Hulk comes in with the vines. And notice I have her skirt match her skirt. And so then she rips and turns into this giant vine creature. Divine creature. And so cool. Now, of course, she's accustomed to. I couldn't get the exact figure I wanted, so I had to replace the legs with a different She-Hulk legs. And so she's actually a two-part custom figure made from two She-Hulks. And then the vines are from a DC character, I think. And then I 3D printed the little piece that goes around her waist to hold the vines on, so that she can have these crazy vines. And then later on, Jennifer becomes her. Do-do-do. So you hang around enough cowboys, you become a cool looking figure. And this is actually also a custom too. It is made from Cover Girls from G.I. Joe. And then I just took and used Logan's hat from the old Logan. And then the head is the alternate head that came with this figure. So that way it's the same character with the same head. And now she fits into the whole cowboy thing. And it's kind of funny too, because here she is, this nerdy scientist. And now she's this awesome looking cowboy with, you know, the wrench and the cool cyber gear and a gun on her hip. So you hang around enough of the Masters of the Universe, Rio Blast and his friends, and you become really cool. Oh, Jennifer. Jennifer! So you're probably wondering why I'm fixated on the name Jennifer for her. And it's because Jennifer is a family name in our family. And so I really wanted to include that. So I know for years you've heard about it. Now I know it's kind of funny because She-Hulk's real name is Jennifer, but it was not named after She-Hulk. It was named after a family name. So I know it's just kind of weird, but it worked out that way. So down here we have the microscope. And someone's pointed out to me and showed me stuff from the box that this is a microscope here. And then when you put it up over here on top of the jail cell, it becomes a telescope to look for flying things at you. So now it's a telescope, and you can look at it the other direction now. And when it's down, it's a microscope. So it's kind of the whole idea of the lenses see big this way and it sees microscopic that way. So this way, telescope, this way, microscope. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time trying to find out exactly what this was because somebody pointed out in a video, they said, no, that's a microscope. That's not a gun. And I'm like, a microscope? What the heck? And it's like, well, why is it on the jail cell? Why do we have the microscope up on the jail cell? Now it makes sense now that I know it becomes a telescope too. But I went online to try to find the directions for this. Now I had the directions at one time, but when I bought this set, you probably saw him see my video. Hey Charles, thanks for joining me. Thanks for sharing it. When I bought this set, I bought it complete in a box, and I thought it'd be in really good shape. When I opened the box, it was all yucky and was just had all kinds of water damage on it. You can see the stickers that I have some water damage on them, so I didn't really use them. I've tried scanning them in, but it just doesn't work. I mean, you can see the water damage on these stickers here. They're just all destroyed. And so that's why I never really stickerized it also, besides stickers that make a mess. I did buy a repo set of stickers, and they just didn't cut it. So let me turn the camera around and tell you the good news. The good news is, I'm gonna raise this back up. Oh, before I do, check this out. Check this out. Let's see if I can turn the camera around somehow. I'll turn this light around here. This searchlight right here, let's see if the batteries are still good in it, is, I took a small little lighted light that's made to go in the water, floatable, and I sanded it all the way around so it fits inside of the searchlight. And so then I can just put it in the searchlight right there. And it looks so cool. Look at that. So now I got a real working searchlight without changing or altering the original toy. So you can find that video. I have it on there somewhere. Off. Anyway, let me get back down here or turn the camera around. Hey, look at my messy hair. I just woke up. Anyway, so the cool news is I found Fort Kernium still in the box. The box has been opened, but the box is only open from wear, not from somebody actually opening it. So all the stickers are intact, all the pieces are intact, and I'm going to take all the stickers and scan them in at high resolution, hopefully 600 dots per inch. I'm going to scan the instructions in, and I'm going to offer them basically free on my site for anybody who wants to download either the stickers or wants to download the directions, because it got so annoying trying to find the directions for this little stinky microscope telescopes. I don't know what it was. And I used to have the directions, but they are long gone because they were all water damaged and gross and yucky, so I tossed them out. And I tried to find them, and people would sell them on Etsy. I'm like, really? You just can't provide a free PDF for people to look at it and see it? And then worse than that, the Etsy ones, I zoomed up on them, and it was just the command center. And so I still didn't see what this was about, because this comes with either the full Fort Kernium set or the bank jail set, and they didn't have the directions for that. So I'm like, if it's this hard to find the directions on the internet, I got to do something. So like I said, I went and bought the full entire it's been open, full entire unused set, and I'm going to scan in all the directions, and I'm going to scan in all the stickers, and I'm going to make them PDFs so people can download them and print them and use them and have them and go through and check it out, because it drove me crazy trying to find this stuff myself. And I'm tired of Etsy people taking the directions and just selling them. It was $30. $30 for them just to print out the instructions and send them to me. I'm like, really? $30 for just you printing them out on paper and sending them, to my house in an envelope. It's like, okay, that's ridiculous. So look for in the future. I'll have probably 1 or 2 more Brave Star videos, and I'll include the link for the PDF for the stickers and directions and everything else. And then I'll have a brand new Fort Kernium, which is not have any damage on it, which would really be cool. Because when I got this, like I said, there was some damage. I had to glue the chair, and I had to rebuy a couple of these pieces, even though it's supposed to be an unused set. I did buy one more searchlight because I didn't want to ruin my other one in case I ended up having to drill a hole in it, but I didn't. And also I had to buy one more flake staff as well. So it'll be cool to have that. And if you guys are not into Brave Star, I mean, this set works so cool for Masters of the Universe, which is what I got it for, because you saw how cool it was with Rio Blast and the other classic figures. It's just really cool. Anyway, it's funny. I remember when Rio Blast first came out for classics, I was like, I don't really know if I'm going to get him or not. He's okay, but not that great. And then I saw someone take this Fort Kernium and show how cool Rio Blast looked in the fort. And I'm like, I need to get Rio Blast. I need to get that fort. And that's how it all started. So that's why I'm a huge Rio Blast fan, is because of the stupid fort. I know it sounds funny, but it reminds me of my G.I. Joe fort when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I had a G.I. Joe fort, and it had the light on top and everything else. It was made of cardboard coated vinyl, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever for my G.I. Joe. And this fort just reminds me so much of that. It has the same size. Basically, it has centerpiece that folded out 2 sides, and then tower on top with a searchlight. But it's just funny how much it's like the old G.I. Joe set. I almost wonder if Mattel saw that G.I. Joe set from the 70s and thought, you know what? We could use this for our Brave Star Fort Kernium set. But, of course, the Brave Star Fort Kernium set's made a lot better than cardboard coated vinyl. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I know I've talked a while, but I just got to show this guy one more time. He's just so cool looking. Look at that. The pre-Rio Blast. Just when his name is Rio, dun dun dun, before he gets the blast. And I purposely made these guns that look like Brave Star's guns. Look at that. They're actually been 3D printed a long time ago on Shapeways, and I changed the angle of the bar here so that it would match the Classic's hands. Because the normal gun from Brave Star goes straight up and down, and all the Classic's hands are slightly tilted. So that is the reason for these special ones. Now, granted, I did glue these on, so they wouldn't keep opening up, and some other things like that too. So he's supposed to be the unoperated on Rio Blast. I love that Castle Grayskull behind you. I know, this Castle Grayskull is the coolest thing. Oh, anyway. That's all I got. Thanks for joining me, and let's check out any of the comments you guys have. That's all I got from Charles. Hey, Charles. And that's it. Good journey now. Bye. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Ah.